You're not behind, sis. You're not broken. And you're definitely not lazy. But there is a pattern we need to talk about today. Let's talk about something we don't say out loud enough. Ambition in mothers. Somewhere along the way, ambition became too taboo for moms, especially moms of faith. There's a double standard placed on women, especially on moms. We're often praised for sacrifice, but questioned for desire. More often than not, society celebrates moms who give everything to their kids, pour into others, put themselves last. But when a mother says, I want more impact, want to be visible, build something meaningful, questions start. Are you sure that's God? What about your family? Isn't that a little much? Why can't you just be content? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tammy, and this is the Unmuted CEO, where we discuss moms in business who are afraid to be seen, overwhelmed, and tired of being burnt out. Let me be clear. Waiting on God does not mean refusing to move. Waiting does not mean hiding. Waiting does not mean silencing what He put inside of you. In faith spaces, we hear phrases like, be content, wait on the Lord. While true, they're incomplete. Using phrases like be content is used to shut down desire. Wait on the Lord is sometimes used to avoid movement. And God first is oftentimes used to silence ambition. Contentment does not mean complacency. Waiting does not mean refusing to move. Putting God first does not mean burying what He gave you. God is not threatened by your desire. He planted it. For many women, waiting on God becomes a way to avoid risk. If this is uncomfortable, don't leave. Stay present. Conviction isn't condemnation. It's clarity. Hiding does not look like inactivity. Most hiding women are extremely busy. Hiding looks like preparation without exposure. Drafts never posted. Plans never launched. Vision boards with no movement. You see where I'm going with this? If you're always almost ready, that's hiding. Let me show you what hiding looks like in real life. Preparing feels responsible. Planning endlessly. Outlining without posting. Just one more thing before I start, right? Preparation becomes hiding when it replaces obedience. Consuming but never creating. You watch videos. You save posts. You take notes but don't speak. Consumption without creation slowly convinces you that you're not ready. Rewriting bios, brands, and websites. This one looks productive. Rebranding repeatedly, changing messaging every few months or so, waiting for clarity instead of building it. Clarity comes from movement, not from tweaking. Saving drafts. Drafts feel safe, and drafts, well, they don't risk rejection. But drafts don't build confidence either. Researching instead of posting. Research becomes hiding when it never turns into action. At some point, research becomes procrastination, wearing a smarter outfit. Hiding often looks productive. It feels responsible somewhat, even mature. Let's talk about watching others succeed. You watch women with less experience grow faster than you. And instead of feeling inspired, you feel smaller, being capable but quiet, supporting others instead of leading, knowing you had something to say, but stand behind the scenes. Hiding gives you the illusion of control. You tell yourself, I could do it if I wanted. But responsibility with no post means no criticism. No lunch means no failure. No visibility means no rejection. Safety is not the same as alignment. Fear number 1, judgment. You're not afraid of strangers. You're afraid of opinion. Most women think they are afraid of the internet. Mostly, they're afraid of comments, being misunderstood, sounding foolish. But the fear of comments isn't really about the comment, not knowing how people will respond to you once you're visible. Comments make your thoughts public. They turn private beliefs into something that can be reacted to. Comments feel permanent, like evidence. Public evaluation. Even silence in the comments can feel loud when you're already down yourself. The fear of being misunderstood. Many women stay quiet because they don't trust themselves to be understood. A few examples are their tone being misread, words taken out of context, intent questioned. You're not afraid of speaking. You're afraid of being interpreted incorrectly. When being misunderstood feels unsafe, silence feels safer. Let's talk about the fear of saying something wrong. This fear often shows up as perfectionism. A few examples are overthinking wording, editing repeatedly, waiting until you have the right phrasing. You're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to avoid regret. And I feel you on that. But clarity is built through conversation. not silent. Few real-life examples are having your family members watch you. You get nervous about saying things in front of a particular family member. Maybe you get nervous about certain church members forming opinions, or better yet, old classmates suddenly paying attention. Strangers scroll past. It's the people who know you that feel heavy. Judgment feels dangerous because it threatens belonging. Fear number 2, inconsistency. If I don't start, I can't quit. This one sounds like wisdom. Starting strong creates expectation, and expectation creates pressure. If I start strong, people will expect me to keep going, and pressure feels heavy when you're already tired. It feels like failure when you tie your worth to performance. I don't want to let people down. Instead of risking stopping, you never start in the first place. Many women already have a voice in their head saying, see, you never stick to anything. Starting feels dangerous because stopping would confirm that voice. But avoidance doesn't silence the critic. Action does. Inconsistency makes you human. Quitting doesn't define you, sis. Refusing to start does. Visibility changes relationships. This is the fear nobody wants to admit. People already have a version of you in their mind. They have an idea of who they expect you to be or how they expect you to show up. Visibility disrupts those expectations. Your growth can challenge people who are comfortable with who you used to be. Not because you're wrong, but because growth exposes stagnation. Relationships change. Some chill for you. Some won't. Some go quiet. Some don't. Some pull away. Some come closer. Visibility exposes who can celebrate you and who can't. Growth changes proximity. That doesn't mean you're abandoning people. It means you're evolving. Hiding isn't neutral. Let's just get that out of the way. It erodes things slowly. Let's talk about the cost of hiding. Number 1, self-trust. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken your self-trust. Every promise you break to yourself teaches your nervous system not to believe you. Cost 2, income. Visibility is not vanity. Visibility is access. People can't buy what they can't see, no matter how gifted you are. Cost number 3, identity. You can't feel like a leader while avoiding leadership action. Leaders speak, initiate, and are visible. Leadership doesn't wait for certainty. It moves with conviction. You don't feel like a leader because you're waiting to feel ready before you speak. But leaders initiate. They don't wait for permission. They initiate conversation, direction, and movement. Initiation builds authority. Leaders allow themselves to be seen, mainly because leadership requires visibility. You cannot lead from the shadows. Identity is reinforced through action. You believe who you practice then. What you don't steward, you begin to doubt. Unstewarded gifts feel imaginary. Doubt creeps in when gifts aren't exercised. When you don't use your gifts, your mind starts questioning whether they're real. For example, thinking maybe I made it up. Maybe I'm not actually called. Unused gifts don't disappear. They get buried under doubt. Silence distorts purpose. Purpose becomes confusing when it's never exercised. Clarity comes from movement. Calling grows clearer when it's used. Your gift isn't gone. It's waiting on your obedience. There's a season for hiding, but hiding is never meant to be permanent. Preparation is holy, but so is release. Fear is not a sign to stop. If you're a woman of faith, hiding doesn't just affect your confidence. It affects your obedience. Scripture gives us several examples of when preparation turns into delay, and delay turns into disobedience. For instance, the book of Esther. Esther's story is often taught as a story of courage. But before it was courage, it was preparation. Esther didn't become queen overnight. There was grooming, earning, positioning. She was hidden, but preparation was never meant to be permanent. There came a moment where silence was no longer wisdom. Hiding was no longer protection. Esther had to choose between comfort and calling. If Esther stayed silent, people would have died. Her obedience wasn't just about her. It was about who was waiting on her. Your preparation season has an expiration date. At some point, silence becomes disobedience. In the book of Moses, God didn't remove the fear. Moses was called, but insecure. He listed excuses such as his speech, ability, fear. He didn't feel ready. God removed Moses' excuses. God didn't say, come back when you're confident. He said, go anyway. Fear was not Moses' disqualifier. disobedience would have been. God often sends us with fear, not without it. The buried talent, fear-based stewardship. The servant didn't waste the talent. He buried it. Fear made him call disobedience wisdom. Fear, the talent wasn't taken because it was small. It was taken because it was unused. God doesn't rebuke him for being afraid. He rebukes him for refusing to move. God does not reward perfection. He rewards obedience. And obedience almost always requires visibility. Let's talk about how confidence is actually built. Confidence is not a prerequisite. It's a byproduct. Action creates evidence. Evidence creates belief. And belief creates momentum. Most women are waiting to feel ready, but readiness is created through action. For example, your first post feels awkward, but after you post, you survive. And that survival becomes evident. Your first video doesn't feel natural. You don't like your voice, the way that you look, your angle, etc. You notice every single thing you wish you could fix about yourself, but nothing bad happened. You're stumbling over almost every word, and then it ends. You did it. That's evidence. Here's the confidence formula. Create evidence. Evidence builds belief. Belief creates momentum. Momentum is what confidence actually is. It's not a feeling, it's proof. Confidence is not the requirement. Confidence is the reward. You earn it by showing up. God is waiting for you to move. If you watch this video this far, that means you rock with me. And it's not by accident. Something in you knows this message was for you. And I just want to be clear. You don't need to feel ready. Just decide not to hide anymore. So here's your next obedience step. Subscribe to this channel. Not because I need the number, but because you need the reminder. Every video here is for the woman who knows she's called and is done shrinking. If this spoke to you, comment unmuted down below. Not for me, but as a declaration to yourself. You don't need permission anymore. You already have it.